Turn those old Dungeons and Dragons into dollars and dividends by owning your own adventuring franchise. From its humble beginnings as D&D live play, expanding to stage, podcast, and stream, with Acquisitions Incorporated, there's never been a better time to get the money.
Hey, it's Omin Dran, CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated. Imagine digging a hole, but instead of finding a body, you find real wealth. And a body. One you put there. Buy my book.
We partnered with Wizards of the Coast to bring the official Acquisitions Incorporated experience to your home campaign. Learn how to run your own franchise, how to staff it with new player options for specializations, spells, and equipment, stats for iconic characters and monsters, and put your franchisees to the test with an included campaign for levels 1 to 6. Obviators are standing by. With the official D&D Acquisitions Incorporated book,
You can do what you wanna do. Ow!
really want are Tron and the old Star Wars.
You mean the Vector one?
Yeah.
Like the old Vector Star Wars one?
Oh,
That
yeah.
had like the voice and the yoke?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the original one.
Yeah.
That and Tron are the two systems coin ops that I want.
That's the fantasy one. And honestly, Tron is kind of kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has like, there's so many mini games in there.
And that was like childhood stuff.
And the
That was
music,
growing up.
bang. Gathered throng, hello, it is I, your internet friend, Jeffrey K. Horkrooms, back at you once again. However it came to be, whatever lamentations you may currently be undergoing, you have fallen ass backwards onto Twitch's brewing program, Acquisitions Intoxicated. I am joined, as almost always, by
Like
Acquisitions
16 months, dude. Sorry, I had to interrupt for that.
Intoxicated Brewmaster, Eric J. Benson, Azerbaijan, Edge Benson, Notorious EJP. Fade to Black, I'm glad that you like this shirt. I am wearing this shirt for a very specific reason, Fade to Black, and that is because it is a great shirt. Certainly we sell this shirt and you should buy it, but in addition, it is also to indicate to the viewer that at 3 o'clock,
Today.
we have a sponsored stream for Exceed, which is legitimately, which is actually 100% my favorite card game of all time. Yeah. I will show you why that is.
I can't wait to play.
At 3 o'clock. Dude, you have operated the most precise scams. These last two fucking sponsored streams, it's like, okay, what's your favorite video game that you play every day? Storybook Brawl. Okay, stream.
Yeah.
And then Exceed, new set, stream.
Right.
I mean, I think I have played a game of Exceed with every available deck. Like that's how weird I am about it.
But the thing is, you know what always happens when we play like in the office or when we play like down at Mox or something, I always win. But then when we do an Exceed stream, you come in and just annihilate me.
I just do the opposite of whatever I would usually do.
Yeah.
I freak out, and so then I move into another state.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for just to be brutalized again on stream.
Listen, it's going to happen.
I'm excited about it.
I'm going to make this happen for you. Now, that being said, of course, part of the ritual we will not be able to undertake because we don't want it gurgling and beeping and chirping and boiling while we are playing our card battle game.
Yeah.
But the rest of the ritual, indeed, the hero's journey will be maintained absolutely. And that means tapping the red ale.
Oh, yeah.
The orc-themed red ale.
What's this? Oh, yeah, Beer We Go?
Beer We Go. All right, no, so you got it pulled up here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here, I was going to say is that now that we got it dialed in, and now that this laptop is not physically cracking,
like blowing up, and
trying to birth its flaming battery out the side, we can take a look at this on here, and we love it. So what are we looking at here?
So check this out. This was an Irish red, but we went with classic Maris Otter for this one. So it's that bready start to the flavor profile.
Absolutely.
Then we went a little even further and added some biscuit malt in it.
Right. And then special B for the intense caramel.
Yeah.
Right. And then we hit it with the Irish ale yeast, which is going to give us the chewy malt mouthfeel. And then we back it up with the Magnum, which, as we have described before, has every hop characteristic.
Yeah. And it was perfect for orcs, right? Like,
well, it's full. Magnum is also a gun, so we like it. Well, here, let me see if I can't get you.
Yeah, I mean,
some of this quality product over here.
You're getting caught?
Yeah, I can't move anymore.
Ta-da! Oh, damn!
Wow.
We need other chords.
We do. We got some chords. All right, now, are we ready? Is it safe? Is it secret?
I hope it's just Magnums and
bam. Whew. Oh boy!
Look at that. That looks like a delicious beer.
This is it. Oh my gentle Jesus. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was getting a little excited there. Let me just turn this so that the branding faces the audience.
Oh wow! Look at that.
God. Damn it.
Listen, I'm not gonna.
I don't know, man. I think we might have another one of those festival beers on the way here. All right, now there's you can't see this, gentle reader, but there is a very sophisticated maze of cables that I must defeat in order to get back over to this side of the table. Now you like to see it in the light. Well, here, let's set it out for you right there, and maybe there will be this will be our tandem. Now this is our Christmas card.
Yeah.
That's going to be our Christmas card this year, and then obviously when it shifts over.
Woo! Look at that angle. That's cool.
All right, and then nope, it's this way. It's backwards. You don't have any idea how complex this is.
So difficult.
Shut up.
What you could do? Not move it.
Shut up.
He's got a point.
All right.
That looks great.
We did it. Okay, now. Oh.
That's delightfully calm.
Yeah. That is nice. So, but there is like it's fruity for some reason. This must be off of the Irish ale.
I don't know if it's all
Yeast. Or is it from the fucking Magnum that has all tastes?
No, fruity flavor characteristic. Yeah.
See, there we go. But
It's diacetyl, and yeah.
yeah, but I'm not familiar with it. I typically don't pull that.
There's a little bit of an apple coming off the top of this.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. Now, obviously, this is very dorky. I apologize. Deeply dorky content, but certainly we have a reputation to uphold. All I'm saying is I'm just shocked at how fruity it is.
Mm.
There's just a lot for it to work with in there.
Not your typical Irish red.
No, it's really big.
And probably Magnum had a lot. You're right. Magnum had a lot to do with it.
I think the interplay of the Magnum, but also these malts are huge.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's the caramel too. It's between the fruit and the caramel sweet. That's where it is doing this, because this almost is this has a like Hair of the Dog uses a lot of candy sugar, especially in their bigger dark beers.
We need to plan that trip to go down.
We got to go down.
Dog is closing, everyone. If you haven't heard.
Down in Portland. Now.
Yeah.
You know what would be the best way
Ryan
to do
already
it?
said he might come down with us.
See, that's
like
I'm
group
saying.
trip.
I'm saying.
Maybe we can get Josh with the Twitch backpack.
Train.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way to go.
Fucking train.
From here?
Yeah, to Portland?
Oh, Portland. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just down in Portland.
Portland already takes like hours.
Yeah, but the train is amazing because you can get in the observation car and just chill and brew train.
Brew train.
That's a great idea.
Man.
Specifically, it's called the Starlight Express.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one you want.
The car?
Yeah. Because that.
That specific train, it's like a scenic route. It's slower.
Oh, for real?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds all right. Dude, Erica, I have not actually done that. Obviously,
Really?
I've been down there.
Oh, it's amazing.
But no. So I came up when I was growing up. My dad was what's called a switchman brakeman for Burlington Northern, and now I think it's Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Like there's some conglomeration.
Yeah, they've all consolidated and everything.
Absolutely, but they had a deal with Amtrak. To basically, like, if you worked for BN, you could get like super cheap travel.
Yeah, totally.
And so when I was a kid, like that was the shit.
Yeah.
Because I got super car sick. Like I was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
But when we would do these train trips, so you just read books, fucking. I'm just telling you right now. Let's just do the fucking shit. We're gonna play games
on the train. It's the game train. My friends before I was leaving New York, this was like 7 or 8 years ago, they were getting into they bought a train car, a physical train car, an old Pullman train car, and they were remodeling it to make it look like the Orient Express, and you would just ride from New York or Albany to New York City, and you'd have dinner and like all these things on it, and it was like a luxury train car experience. I'm like, that's the coolest idea ever, and you pay Amazon, Amtrak to just couple the car right up to one of their trains.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever.
So I was like 10 years old, so this is like understand that this is like 36 years ago. My mom gave me $5 so that I could get a pizza, like a little personal pizza from the dining car. I think about it probably every day.
Yeah.
Like I mean.
Yeah.
It was just a pizza in the dining car, but it was like, I was like, this is it. This is what, all the things that I do that are not this suck shit.
Yeah.
And I need to do this more.
And I don't know why, and I'm just weird, obviously, but like,
I'm not gonna,
like flying,
I didn't say it.
like flying, like when we ever fly to like a PAX or something, I like eating in an airport. and I have no clue why. I like sitting at a bar at an airport and just having a meal.
Yeah,
There's something weird about it.
No, man, and we have the Beecher's mac and cheese, like in that fucking concourse.
Yeah,
I never not get it.
Yeah.
I get the big one. I get the one that's too big. I get the one that looks like a fucking Big Gulp, except it's full of macaroni and cheese.
It's the best.
All right, now we should probably focus on the task at hand. Now, but also honestly, Stabby Tabby, what's going on? This is fucking baller.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not high in ABV. It's 5%.
Really?
Yeah.
It tastes so big.
Yeah.
Like for me, like the intensity.
The flavor tastes big.
Yeah, exactly right. Here. Yeah, you're right.
Right. It's got a really nice medium body.
Great color.
Great color, and the flavor just kind of takes over.
Jesus Christ, that's good. Man, we have had some fucking winners. Even the lager that didn't lager was good. You know what I mean? Even the unlager.
Yeah. The dark lager.
Exactly right. All right.
It could be dark lager.
Let's get in here. We've done it. We've certainly done it. Beer on a Tuesday, Asmati, listen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, Asmati Games, are you familiar with Exceed?
I'm pretty sure Chris.
My strong suspicion is that Asmati Games probably knows Brad already. That'd be my guess. Okay, perfect. We're going to be playing the new set at 3. If you want to hang around, consider it.
Unlager. That's a.
Yeah, it's the inverse. It's the cosmic inverse. Now, so it's time to get back on our bullshit,
I agree.
right?
Where do we want to go?
We need themes.
We were doing Wizards last time. We did Mordenkainen, right?
Right. And Mordenkainen was looking good. Can you pull that one up? Just to refresh our memories?
Warp Barrel? That doesn't sound right.
Is there a way to do by date?
Son of a bitch. Did this thing blow? Oh, fuck.
Did it get
Oh, no. Remember I didn't have the computer, so you sent me the...
That's right. I had to.
I'm like, what the hell happened?
Here. All right, here. So we're going to exit. So that being said, Tomboy Notes is coming up. Now, I think that we should just maintain our wizard thing.
Yeah, we had a couple other wizards.
Right? And go hog-ass wild on some of these wizard. So Mordenkainen, obviously the classic. And then we also had an opportunity to inform ourselves about the Gygaxian origin of it. Your own PC, and then the company wrested from your control, and then people are just making your character do stuff from then on, changing their personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have ever like been in one of those junior high D&D groups, the social environment of that is so complex.
Oh, yeah.
You find out it's like
You're acting like that changes somewhere from junior high to like adulthood. It doesn't actually.
I think that those people. I think that those people are a certain way.
Yeah.
And I count myself among them.
Yeah.
But obviously we have to try to tamp it down when we can. Now, Raceland, yes, exactly right. That was my suggestion last time. So, Raceland, that was one of the other things. It's like back then there's no like internet, and so it's like everybody that you meet pronounces the name differently.
Right.
So there was a Raceland contingent, and there was a Rasslin contingent
that's like,
in my high school.
Oh, what's his name? Acerarak or Acerac, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Rincewind. Soon. I have to read the book. Tasselhoff Burfoot? Not a wizard. Oh, Lag Demon Returns. We did Mordenkainen. We made something incredible.
Oh yeah,
Vecna.
Vecna. That's classic. I feel like Vecna's. Everybody fucking talks about Vecna. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the hand.
Now, Black Company. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, One Eye, One Eye is basically their
I want to make a
their
Raven.
war engineer.
Yeah, but Raven is. I love him. So.
It's great stuff. Radagast. Ooh, yeah. It doesn't have to be D&D wizards.
Yeah, we could go through we could do the Blue Wizards. We could do Radagast.
What about Mr. Whatever? Somebody in Mr. Whatever? You know the book.
Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
I don't know this one.
Are you a fan?
Is this where I get ridiculed
I didn't
as bad as Discworld?
Series though, and it was amazing.
Dude, the series I think is legit.
It's like the effects they have were crazy for a TV series.
No, it made no sense, dude. Like, I completely put my stamp, like, as a huge fan of the book, I put my stamp on that series.
What are we talking about?
Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Have you read it? Oh my God. Here.
Is this my Discworld?
You shut it, Ghostly.
I got halfway through it before I lost track.
Where's the letters?
That's funny.
Yeah, you gotta
Mr.
start with
Wizard
phonics.
is a good one. We'll just do Mr. Wizard.
Mr. Wizard, that's not...
Don't you even start on Mr. Wizard. I will defend
Here,
that.
I'm gonna read this description. I mean, and just leave your pants on, okay? Leave them on. At the dawn of the 19th century, two very different magicians emerged to change England's history. In the year 1806, with the Napoleonic Wars raging on land and sea, most people believe magic to be long dead in England. You keep them on. No. I haven't even gotten to the part that would make you take them off. I don't want to hear this belt buckle rattling again.
Yeah, that's maybe not.
That's against the toss. To be long dead in England until the reclusive Mr. Norrell reveals his powers and becomes a celebrity overnight.
What?
Soon, another practicing magician comes forth, the young, handsome, and daring Jonathan Strange. He becomes Norrell's student, and they join forces in the war against France. But Strange is increasingly drawn to the wildest, most perilous forms of magic, straining his partnership with Norrell and putting at risk everything he holds dear. It's about this big, thick, and rich.
I mean, that's great, but
It's like a other coast
he
sandwich.
couldn't think of anything other than Jonathan Strange, like Doctor Strange. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
You're coming at this from the wrong direction. You gotta
I mean, of all the names that you could name a wizard,
sink your teeth into
he
that
made
one.
Doctor.
Yeah.
He made Doctor-
Galadriel is also absolutely a magic user. I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Galadriel, absolutely.
All right.
I'm excited for people to see the new Amazon series because they're going, like, I'm a token nut, but they're going to be able to see a lot of Galadriel and everything, like her back, a lot of
Old
her
school
back-
stuff. You see, and I never read Silmarillion.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff like that I don't know, and I suspect that a lot of this is going to be pulled
I'm
from
hoping
older
they
shit.
pull a lot of the Elrond stories back in because Elrond.
L. Ron Hubbard, obviously the author of
Yeah.
Dianetics.
I mean, he had a huge. I mean, there is some effed up stuff in his background.
Really?
Yeah, like he was kidnapped, and he was raised by, there's a lot of different stuff. Like, the star.
Yeah.
That, if you watch the movies,
Of course.
Frodo has the star of Elendil.
Yeah.
Right? That is actually Elrond's father who ascended to the stars, right?
crazy.
So there's like all this cool like background
That's
stuff.
crazy pants.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a few choices here. We'll be able to pull something up here. Silmarils. Okay, thank you, Pirrell. That's the information that I needed. So they're gleaming. That's what it sounds like. They're gleaming. Well, yeah, Blind Cleric. I just haven't gotten to it. You know what I mean? It's like
There's a lot.
there's a lot of books.
Well, the thing with the Silmarillion, you really have to be a nut for it. Like,
It's even harder core, right?
it's like a database that you're reading.
Like the Bible.
Yeah, it's
It's like the Bible.
that and
Wow.
a calendar, right? Like you're reading a calendar.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to
So
say,
you
but so
really
it's
have
this biblical
to-
thing. It's like somebody begat somebody else.
Yep. There's a lot of that, and I could not get anywhere in that book.
Oh, Kindle Sky. So it's based on the appendices.
They don't
Okay,
have
that makes
access to the Silmarillion. Okay,
That's interesting.
so the series is being made based on the appendices. Well, those appendices are fucking thick.
Yep.
There's all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of shit in there. Yeah, Moomin, they stay begetting. Yeah, I mean, if a calendar was the Bible, I mean, that's, who wouldn't want to read that? Whew. But I did read the Bible at a young age, and so it may be that I'm dialed in. It's classical Scandinavian mythic bullshit. No. And so my friend David Lishner, who is like a professor at Yale or something now, that was like his thing, was the Silmarillion. And I was like, do you think I would like it? And he's like, no. And this was like in junior high. You know what I mean? He's
you
like, I don't
have
think
to-
this. He's like, I don't think that you would like this. And he's like, well, did you like the parts where they were like walking for a long time? And I'm like, well, I mean, I got through them. And he's like, eh.
Yeah. And that's a really good way to put it.
Right?
And you really want. Do you know how it's like Tolkien can take a tree and then describe it for 35 fucking pages.
Yeah.
That's the Silmarillion. But just
He's
about
gonna-
everything
he-
else.
No. Then he's in the Silmarillion. He'll describe a description of the tree
Yeah.
for 70 pages.
Yeah, exactly.
Silmarillion is one of the jerriest things imaginable. It's the Old Testament for fantasy world. And look, and I don't hate that.
here's
I
the thing.
consider Dune to be in the same.
Well, but we say that, but
Space,
think about
right?
Conan the Barbarian. That came out pre
Pope. Yeah. In
Lord
the
of
Popes.
Rings, right?
Yeah, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
It's kind of good. But Howard had a very different. They were writing.
It was a different take.
These motherfuckers
That was
were
a whole
writing by
different
the
take.
pound.
But that
You
was,
know what I mean?
That was still a genesis of sword and sorcery of that genre.
Absolutely. It's actually really weird. A lot of people don't know that like Howard and Lovecraft were sort of contemporaries.
Right.
And like how dark mythos Conan actually is. It's
Right.
really weird.
Oh, no.
actually.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah, it has swords and it has this like sort of like warrior king type person, but it has really, really dark, weird sorcery.
And the funny thing is, we think it's newer just because of the movies, but it actually it was written.
It's a
long
predecessor,
time. Yeah,
for sure.
predecessor piece.
Right? No, Galadriel. Okay,
Yeah,
well, there's all
yeah.
kinds of great stuff we can do. There's all kinds of great stuff that we can do with Galadriel for sure. But it probably is worth starting with a description
Of Galadriel?
Yeah, just for the folks at home.
Yeah, I mean, a blonde ale, it's classic, but it has to be powerful. She is one of the few beings that Saruman and Morgoth fear, right? So
So it's got to be big.
she is powerful, but she's also fearful of her own self.
Well, yeah. Even if you just see the movies, that comes across. Right. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of information here.
That's like
I didn't read the earlier shit.
Yeah, that's the.
I didn't read the earlier shit.
That's the Cliff Notes. And
this is the distillation.
Yeah.
First age. I need something a little more broad, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. A Galadriel build should knock you on your tail. I mean, any way you put it.
There we go. All right, so the Lady Galadriel, Lady of Light. All right, so we have some color indications, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, the grandmother of Lady Arwen, which, obviously, was an elven queen of extraordinary beauty, timeless features, golden river of hair. That's lovely. Highly praised for her beauty, particularly out of her hair, which was deep and radiant gold, shot with silver. We're loving it. Let's see. Oh, it is said that by the elves of Tirion to have ensnared the light of the two trees of Valinor, Telperion and Laurelin, and possibly to inspire the creation of the Silmarils. Like, so this is good hair. I mean, this hair is fucked up. It's crazy.
Right.
The tallest of the elf women. Hey, no slouch. 6 feet 4 inches.
Right.
You know what I mean? First draft.
Yeah, and the thing is, she's elf. She's not like a Maier, right? So
Right.
Then those were the wizards, like Gandalf, Radagast.
Right.
Saruman, the Balrog is actually a Maier, right? So.
All right. Well, strong of body and mind. Okay, so we got the information that we need here. Had important roles basically in every age, right? Prideful, and then she'd been tempered by the third age, and started hanging out in the woods. No mere fey being. There we go. She bore one of the great rings, Nenya, the ring of Adamant. All right, and with the one ring in her grasp as well, she would be a mighty match for the Dark Lord Sauron. Okay. Magical powers, magic hair, tall, big, ring of water. She's communicating over vast distances. Mm-hmm. Enigmatic. Even the immensely skillful Saruman and an elf as perceptive as Elrond found it difficult to understand her powers. Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo!
So I'm guessing we're going with Galadriel?
Yeah, they already voted. They already voted on that.
I didn't see the vote.
Oh, yeah. No, it was not close.
Okay. So
hold on. In those older books, because
I didn't even freaking see.
There's
Maybe this is a little bit.
There's a side character, or there's one of the characters.
You fucking mentioned Tom Bombadil. I'm gonna.
Tom
throw you out.
Bombadillo.
I'm gonna throw you out of this.
I
fucking
fear
room.
no Green Willow. You know what I mean? That's
Fuck Tom Bombadil.
what the.
Sorry, I don't like Tom Bombadil.
What? Tom Bombadil?
I get it. He's the godlike figure of the woods, but
Well, he's got this great. He's
Fuck
got,
him.
No, he's got these great songs.
yeah,
He's
he's the
kicking
Tom
it.
Nook of the goddamn
He's got-
fucking Lord of the Rings
He's got
world.
sick flows.
The plot to a smashing halt.
Now, this is what I'm curious about, right? So, in those awesome Lord of the Rings games where you can like sneak around and then you can like kill an orc and then they're like, no, I'm gonna be your enemy forever, and they get pissed off and they start gaining powers and shit.
Yeah, I'd shank Tom Bombadil.
Yeah. It's the Mordor ones.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like Tom Bombadil. It's coming across.
Tom Bombadil beer.
Yeah.
Galadriel.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil. Let's go.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
the
but-
Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah. But there's a character called Celebrimbor, and I don't know what they were referencing.
Celebrimbor.
Was that what it is?
So Celebrimbor and Narvi were the two dwarfs that built the doors of Moria.
Oh, I thought Celebrimbor was like in the game anyway, he's like an elf. He's like going sick with it.
Yeah. So they were smiths. So
There
yeah,
we go.
Celebrimbor is an elf, and then they built the doors of Moria.
Oh, it was a collab. It was a DeviantArt style collab. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. All right, now that we have Galadriel.
Forge of the Rings, yep.
There we go. Okay, so that's why. Yeah. I was going to say Neekman. It seemed like I thought I remembered that pronunciation, right?
Yeah, and Narvi is his counterpart.
Oh yeah, and he's definitely a dick in there.
So if you ever want like my home Wi-Fi passwords, that's what it is. It's
Get in there.
Celebrimbor, and my 5G is Narvi, and then it's like speak friend, and then now enter.
Nice. No, I was going to say.
So come on over and use my free internet.
Just open up the Wi-Fi, look for the one that says Tom Bombadil sucks.
Yeah.
And then obviously Bella. You know what I mean? Now, so here we go. Now we need styles.
A blonde ale,
Yep.
obviously. A wit beer, like a Hefeweizen, and a Belgian triple.
Oh. That's a good idea. I mean, they're all great ideas.
Yeah, AFL Shark Girl, Hefeweizen, yeah, I think is right up there. Underdog, I don't know about a quad, but I want to do a triple for this one. I think she's a triple threat. Exactly, times, nailed it. That's a great hook.
All right. I lost connection
Patrick,
to the server.
Voodoo Ranger, if you have some ideas for how we want to brew this triple for Galadriel, please put them in chat.
That's the pro tier, right? So Belgian triple, blonde ale, and the other one was a wit beer.
Yep, Hefeweizen.
Okay. Yeah, all cool colors.
I mean, there is a chance, just so we say this, there is a chance on April 12th, New Belgian will be up here with us, one of the brewers, and our friend Patrick.
Well, that's the fantasy.
That is the fantasy.
That's the fantasy. I mean, it's always like that used to be a super normal thing for this show. It typically wasn't just us. It was usually a cast.
Yeah.
And I'd be overjoyed to get back into there. April 12th, maybe. Triple for the 3 rings.
Ooh, that's
See,
kind of fun.
Leftria is coming in with the sauce. Maybe. Hey, Voodoo Ranger, I saw a new one in the.
I'm so happy about that. I when we were at the shop,
Yeah.
I literally texted Patrick. I'm like, did you put this beer out? Like, I was so happy about it.
What is Agent 77? I'd never seen it before in the case, and it was up too high, and I'm very short.
My James Bond loving heart
It's in there.
tears were just dropping.
It's in there.
I literally sent Patrick out. I'm like, you did not tell me about this beer.
Yeah. I'm just curious about it because they're using those Nelson Salvin, like they're like hooked on a hop, and I understand what that's like. Belgian triple was like the easy call. Everybody's down to clown on this.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, if Galadriel did go into the west. We could have done the west coast. Well, listen, the truth is that Galadriel's powerful enough for us to get multiple, right? If we start getting into Tolkien numerology, we're going to be here all night.
Man, listen, I can do Tolkien beers all night.
Well, no, nothing bad would happen.
No.
We would just make a bunch of great beers. Now, it is the Belgian triple.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Whoever tossed out, I mean, I was thinking very much about spells and D&D shit. Whoever decided to toss out Galadriel, I'd really appreciate it. This is going to be an awesome hook. But, dude, it might be fun to try some New Zealand hops.
That'd be interesting.
Just for kicks. Because there's some
play
solid
around
stuff.
with it. Yeah,
there
we
is
can
some
play around
solid
with that.
stuff down there.
Okay, typically when we design a Belgian ale, and specifically a Belgian triple, we're using a lot. They came about because you put a lot of table sugar in there to jack the ABV up.
Oh well, yeah, and that comes across. Is that still the tradition?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a market.
pale, yeah, it's
a
pale and
market concession.
Yeah. But I like the thought of using an Australian hop in there. That's really fun.
Yeah, I just think the NZ hop would be funny. Like it would be a funny thing to do. Enigma, yeah. Job, we have seen beers that utilize Enigma as well.
Oh yeah, Enigma was cool. Yeah. We had that in one of them.
Big fan. Okay, so Agent 77 was voted for beer. Oh, and the last vote for a beer. Okay.
What? Oh really?
There we go.
That's freaking cool.
Yep, it works. Yes, absolutely. Enigma is, Job. Enigma would be is
Clues.
is
I love
dialed
that
in.
idea. 11.37 ABV for every page. In the logo. Depends on what book you have.
I mean, I guess that's true. All right, here. So now that we know what's up, so we're gonna be loading this thing up with CNH pure cane sugar from Hawaii, sweetened by the sun.
Okay, so let's get our
guardrails.
Yeah, guardrails.
So we're looking for the ABV.
Yeah, anywhere from 7.5 to 9.
Triples are big, right?
So when we think about Galadriel, so is it? If you can get your hands, they actually made a reproduction copy of the Red Book of West March, and I've been looking for it, and I just haven't decided to spend $500 on it yet. Anyways, so 7.5 to 9.5. So how do we base that in this Wizards?
Well, I mean, the truth is, right? I mean, by the
Like 9.5 is her testing herself.
Yeah, I think the 9.5 is actually that's probably first age. Because in the modern, when I say modern, of course I just mean the third age, right?
Sure.
She's much more subdued, as it says.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
'Cause she was flexing pretty consistently.
Oh yeah, wait till you see
Right,
it. Yeah.
and so I think that's our 9.5, and I think that 7.5 is sort of the modern Galadriel before she goes to the west, like a tempered strength. Because 7.5 is no fucking slouch.
No,
Right?
no, you're still friggin' badass. It's just
No, it's still brutal.
It's reserved.
Exactly right. Well, it's powerful but reserved.
It's reserved until you have 3 of them and then knocks you on your ass.
Yeah, you still lose.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All would worship me in despair is Galadriel being chill. Exactly right. That's as chill as she gets. There we go. Yeah. Well, clues, we'll see what we can do for you.
We need higher than that.
Yeah. 9 is solid. Yeah. So Kindled Sky, that's very, very interesting because I remember taking Mike to Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, he's like, where's all the fireballs?
Well, exactly. I took him to the first of the trilogy, and then he's like, so Gandalf is like a powerful wizard, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, and he has been for a long time.
Right.
When we're coming in to the story, like this is sort of where he's at, but he doesn't draw a lot. He doesn't draw attention to himself if he doesn't have to.
No, but you think about the fight against the classic scene.
It's fucked.
The Balrog is a fallen wizard, right? He actually is the same type of wizard.
Type of creature.
As Gandalf.
Yeah.
Just consumed by evil.
Right.
And for him to have that fight, that was him using exploiting all the powers.
Yeah,
that he has.
but like gaudy, vile displays of power, that's more of a Sauron thing, right?
No, essay. Gandalf is not human at all.
No.
He is a completely different being.
Creature.
Yeah.
That's the Maiar, right?
Yep.
Even I know that
Maiar.
just from being a dork. Same level of the org chart.
What is it? Yeah, same level of the org chart. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Moomin. There's so much. There is a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, Crimson. That's a good way to look at it. Angel versus devil.
Yeah, and exactly because both
Tolkien probably
spirit
had that in
creatures.
mind.
Exactly, both spirit creatures. We're talking about the creature that drags you into the underworld.
Right.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iceberg. I think you might be onto something there. With 9.5's 96.2% delivery, I think we're going to be okay.
Great.
All right. So we were talking about this is the Galadriel I don't know as well, and I'm delighted to make her acquaintance.
Great. So, SRM between 4.5 and 7.
Okay. Yeah. So still on the first
It's the org chart, not org chart.
the org chart, but it's still in the first row, right? All these SRMs are down there. They're golden. They're lovely. So you said 4 to 7. You said?
4 to 7.
Oh yeah, this is all
So
kick ass.
we have kind of
a range here.
that we can, explore depending on the blondness of the hair or the depth of character, right?
Here. So I'm going to throw this up now. Jorash, can you throw up the SRM chart just for the chat to check in with the palette real quick?
Is it not? Is my feed not coming through?
Well, because we had seen it. We had seen it on the on Beersmith, so I think it does worky.
Is my feed coming through, John?
All right, now.
Oh, I was doing something.
I was
Sorry.
fucking engaged with some shit.
He's like, I was reading the goddamn scenario.
Yeah, exactly. You don't understand. This is an incredible work. It's like the Bible for a fantasy world. All right, now take a look at that. So we have some subtle but beautiful distinctions there between 4 and 7. 7 is quite golden.
Pyro, you are correct. The Maiar were basically just there to influence. They could only influence. They could not really take part until
He's
Gandalf
essentially
goes off the chain.
he's acting as a
wizard.
counselor.
Yeah, he's
Right?
acting as a wizard. Yeah, meddling, so to speak.
Yes, if you will. And you can sort of understand, like, Grimo Wormtongue's position. It's like, we haven't seen you for a super long time, and then you're coming out here telling us a bunch of crazy shit. Just flawless.
Look at that. That looks fantastic.
Dear God.
My wife's gonna like this one.
What's that? It's gonna be a winner at home?
Irish Reds are her favorite.
Well, this is gonna.
Oh, no pull on the screen.
No pull. Oh, here.
Oh yeah, spruce tips are super fun. Man, I would love to talk. Is it Patrick? Which brewer is it? Is it Matt or? Oh God.
Oh,
Spruce tip
tips.
with,
give it that sort of give it that mystical.
Yeah. We used to do an old spruce ale because we were in upstate New York. We would just
Easy
go
to get because when they're tender.
Yeah, you would just go out and pick it and dump it right in the. Oh, Cody. Okay, cool.
Well, listen, that's a super cool thing. The main thing is we don't want to use oil. We don't want to use an extract if we can. We want to use the real deal.
Yeah. I love trying out like spruce tips and stuff like that. Just absolutely fun.
Absolutely. Hey, so they like that bright, they like that shining gold of the 4.
The extracts can get real bad real quick. It's like Mr. Clean in a bottle.
Exactly, but also it's like.
But when you use actual spruce tips, it's just a subtle.
It's an infusion.
Yeah.
Right. That's the difference. I mean, oil and water have a relationship that's well understood.
Okay, fun.
A cedar tip would probably be great. honestly.
Bitterness. Okay, so when we look at a triple, it's not the hops really don't do the bittering that we normally see in other beers.
It's
right?
so sweet.
Yeah.
As you said, a big part of its body is literal sugar.
And also the yeast that we're using, right? That gives the esters that we want, the flavors that we think of when
and so when we say like Belgian esters, we're talking about the kinky stuff.
Right. The banana flavors,
Clove, bubblegum,
exactly.
right? Weird shit.
Yep.
Which likes to play with the sugar, right? You add sugar to those taste notes, you're like, meow.
Yeah.
Tastes pretty good.
So we're looking between 20 and 40 on this one.
Yeah.
So 20 is the more subtle. I give you a couple locks of my hair. 40 is going to be a little bit more of, here's the star of Galadriel, right?
Yeah. It's the level of the gift.
Agavesi, 100% steering golden hops are both it does sound Middle Earthy, but
classic.
also it's a classic hop for this
style.
brew. So we'll definitely add that in there. But we can fool around with some New Zealand stuff as well.
I just think it'd be funny. But obviously Styrian has always sounded like fantasy horse shit.
Right. Well, it's like you haven't watched Conan the Barbarian, have you?
Totally.
I thought you haven't.
No.
Hold
See,
on.
those I got to. Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You have to understand. So occasionally, I would go to a friend's house and we would rent something and I would get away with it.
Okay.
Right? Those movies are fucking ballin'.
Yeah.
They are ballin'. To the youth. I haven't seen one in a long time.
They still are fantastic.
Are they still fun?
Oh yeah, they're still
Good.
fun. If I know Josh and we've been pegging Josh to say we need to do movie nights, but if it ever comes on Amazon Prime, that's one of the number ones. That and
we should
Point,
look.
Point Break.
Yeah. So have you ever
Dance with the Devil in the Full Moonlight? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Great job. No, it's another film. Did you ever see
Sword and Sorcery.
Obviously great.
The Hawk.
Isn't there a Red Sonja movie?
There is a Red Sonja movie.
Is it fun or is it dumb?
No, it's fine.
Is it fine?
It's fine.
Is it sort of in the same vein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the Dark Horse Conan run?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Those are too good.
Amazing.
They are too good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can shotgun through one of those. Like for me, that is a snack.
Yeah.
They are so incredible.
Yeah. My big thing right now is I'm going through. I got all the omnibuses of the Constantine and Hellraiser.
Oh yeah,
series.
that's good stuff.
Oh god,
Constantine's legit. Like
my
I like
favorite.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
I want
a sequel with Keanu to the original Constantine movie. That's all I want.
but Constantine is, which polarity is that? Because I think of Constantine's DC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Keanu said he's ready to go.
Yeah, and he was amazing. That first one was awesome.
I like magic. Like I think that
30. Okay.
a hard-bitten.
Wow.
Balance, right?
Yeah.
I think a hard-bitten wizard. This is why people like Harry, like Dresden, right?
Yeah.
It's like sort of the noir wizard type archetype.
Pyro, I get what you're saying, but like, I love the juxtaposition of religion into a comic setting or almost anything.
Yeah.
So when you can combine some of those things, but
Did you enjoy the prophecy movies?
fuck yeah, with Christopher Walken, oh my god.
They're like too good,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? They're sort of too good. Like they're way better than they should be. Even the fucking direct-to-video shit is still banging somehow.
Yeah.
All right, 30 it is. So we have the guide rails. That is going to be perfect. I love these lines here.
So I think here's what we do for the base malt.
Yeah.
We're either going to go with regular pale malt, 2-row, because
Yep.
that is classic,
Well, yeah, that's right up the middle, right?
or we're going with Golden Promise. I think I know where this is going to go, but Golden Promise is going to make it sweeter, and or we could go with a Belgian pale as well.
Yeah.
So There's a lot here.
How would you distinguish the Belgian pale from the?
The Belgian is sweeter than normal pale ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little sweeter. The Golden Promise is even sweet.
Yeah.
The sweetest.
That's the range.
Yep.
All right. Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peril, that's always a
Pierre
challenge.
Stormare in Constantine was fantastic.
I think I may not be familiar with.
Did you watch Constantine?
I watched the movie,
Oh, yeah.
and I've read some Constantine, but the Constantine, okay, it's very different, right? Very British.
Yeah. So it was really funny when I was a kid growing up. This is where I never had the like thing you did where I couldn't read anything about the devil and blah blah blah. But I remember going into the comic shop as a kid and
Yeah.
I pull out a Hellraiser book. And the owner of the comic shop, really nice guy. We became friends when I got older.
Yeah.
His name's Bob.
That's a very comic book
The comic
shop.
book shop was called Aquilonia, right?
So it's for dorks.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm like, "Dang, I couldn't even see over the rack, but I pull up Hellraiser and I'm like, I want this. And Bob was like, to my dad, he's like, don't let him get that.
No, it's not time.
It's not time.
It's that time.
No, Melon, Aquilonia was a small little comic shop in Troy, New York.
Yeah, well, look, it's Golden Promise. I mean, I don't got to let that run anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and that's going to be, honestly, that's a flawless base. Like, independent of the pun, that's a flawless base.
I know it says just pale here, but I just don't have the new things loaded in. We'll add a note that says Golden Promise.
Parfait.
So here's the cool thing. We could be done right now.
Yeah, no more crazy stuff.
Melon, my aunt was the head or the assistant to the dean of engineering at RPI. I literally ran, when I was 15, I ran all of the Ethernet cable through the engineering building. So that engineering building could have Ethernet.
Did you get paid to do this?
Very little. And I also signed all of the dean's dean list. Like everybody that thought they were getting on the dean's list, I signed the dean's name. It's great. It was really funny.
Already the power behind the throne.
Yeah.
All right, this is mega goof troop. I gotta pull the browser back up. It's giving me trouble here. Let's see if this website exists anymore. It might not. Oh yeah, Moomin. So
The Trees of Valinor is a cool AFL circle. That's a great
yeah.
idea.
The idea is that the hair gathered their light or some shit, right? All right, it looks like our poll system is goosed again.
Oh yeah.
Right? But I do have access to the creator dashboard.
Ho ho.
Ho, ho, ho. All right. Now, I can do polls in here.
Melon, I think it was the GEC building. I can't remember what the name of the engineering building was, but it was like right across from the football field.
Okay. Yeah, watch out, Tyrannosaurus. I got the juice. Hang in there. It's loading my activity. Right here, got it.
Yeah, this was 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was there, NVIDIA donated like $320 million to the school because the guy that started NVIDIA went there or something like that.
Shit.
It was crazy.
All right, now I have it.
Days of Shirley. Yeah, in the days of Shirley. Let's not go there.
Okay. Let's give it a full 3 minutes for the ding dong. Now, next grain. first one, we are done. What else? What other alchemical properties?
Okay, so we could be done.
Absolutely.
Now the question is, do we want to add something else? Oh, we're going to add sugar to this, hands
It has to be in there, yeah.
Now the question is, do we want to add something like a honey malt? Do we want to add victory malt? Right? I think those are two kind of fun ways we can play off of this.
Tell me victory again.
Victory malt?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to get.
We've used it before, and I know that I like it, but you know what? No, nope. I don't need you to tell me. I will pull these out.
Yeah, how would you do that? And I want you to guess the flavor you're getting.
Yeah. So let's try the victory.
God, that is great. I love victory malt.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a hearty, hard wheat,
Yep.
right?
If we ever get to go down to New Belgium,
Yeah.
for Voodoo, I want to do something with victory malt.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Throwing that out there.
It's a hearty, hard wheat, and I would say that it has a little bit of a roast character.
Yeah, it's a nutty. It lends
Yeah, the
to
nut.
a nutty flavor.
And let's try a little snack of this honey malt here. Honey malt. That tastes like honey.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I mean,
Delicious.
weirdly like honey. Like the
It reminds me of like honey toasted oats, right? Like
This is a very like cereal. Like the vibe off of the honey malt is very much like a breakfast cereal type sweet.
yeah, totally, absolutely.
Okay.
So I think
So
either
there you
of
go.
those will be cool.
they're both winners, but it's like I have to remember Josh and like I don't need to get the specific words. Josh and Clues have prepared a place for us.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
All right, now that poll should be going up for you even now, gathered throng.
Eckler, thank you for the sub. 30 months.
Indeed. Welcome back. Yeah, I would say the honey malt has it's oddly similar to honey in like a specific way, in that it's like a very broad, flat, sweet, with a little bit of brightness.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Porque no los dos? I mean, it could be a dose. Job, it could be a dose. I mean, we'll put that opportunity up there.
We need to work on some carbonation here, but that's a fun beer.
It's amazing. Yeah, if it was carbonated hard, to a significantly greater degree, and it was just bubbling, and it had that other texture in there, flawless, I think.
Yep.
Oh, now for this vote, you got to go up in the top. Just because the other page is goofed, I have a message here that says 502, something broke.
I think you can actually type like 1, 2, or 3, but I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's right, Agabezi.
Could you use honey instead of table sugar?
We could, but it won't give as
can.
much. It won't boost the ABV.
It doesn't convert the same way. Sugar is the most direct alcohol to yeast.
Yeah, it's mainlining it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Grey Voice. I totally buy it. Like, I think that if you made a honey wheat beer, it would be real good and smooth. Well, they made a honey wheat beer that might as well have been mead. Yeah, I can totally see it.
Yeah.
Because there's an aspect of it, and you know this as I do now, there's just an aspect of it that's about mouthfeel of the honey wheat. So it would sell it to the mouth like a mead. A chat moot, if you will. When we're talking now, I thought you were changing your handle. Is that process ongoing? Train delayed due to reasons. Ooh, an ant draft. Now you're talking.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Dark and rich.
Slow and like
Molasses sweetened.
and it would have to approach like you. It would. I think
Gotta be a lager.
Yeah, but
Right?
well, not only that, but I think it'd be a lower ABV beer because you could drink so many of them and you'd
And it builds up.
slowly get drunk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah. An Ent beer would be really cool.
All right. Let's see. It looks like Honey Malt came out on top of this one, by God. Honey Malt it is. They're ready for it.
I like it.
Me too.
So here's the cool thing. We can do one more vote. We're done or Victory Malt.
Mm-hmm.
And what was our ABV again? I'm sorry.
The ABV they want is
9.5.
9.5. These wicked creatures. Okay. Et voilà. C'est bon. Lagunitas makes a 0% beer that's called Lagunitas
Yeah.
Hop, and it's got a nice. Yeah, absolutely.
So actually, a lot of breweries are coming out with
Sodas.
NA beers right now, and
Yeah.
that's really cool.
They have a few at my corner store. They have one.
Yeah.
Incline, I think it's called.
Yeah, a lot of breweries are doing it. I think it's actually really cool because you can get some really great flavors, and for those who don't want to get drunk from it, you have the opportunity to taste these really
Yeah,
amazing
I actually
things.
like it. I mean, I think that it actually, independent of anything else, I like it. And in fact, I think that the ABV is like in that stunt continuum. Like ABV can go to a place that's bonkers. If we're making something for Galadriel, it had better be 9.5.
Yeah.
But as a generality,
Foodie, do you have any NA beers, or are you coming out with? Or I guess you can't say, but if
it's a cool space. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
any
cool
that
space.
yeah.
I think. Yeah, dude. You know what the Ent beer would be great for? Because you said that you had that stave, like that barrel.
yeah, I have a 30-gallon barrel that.
I mean, wouldn't it be crazy to do the Ent beer in wood? Like for me, wood is a
100%.
challenging note, but wouldn't that be cool?
So we could buy if we wanted to.
Oh
we
yeah,
we
there's
can get
other
a,
ways to do it.
No, yeah, we get a 5-gallon barrel.
Cheap.
You can get a 5-gallon.
Oh well,
barrel.
yeah, small one. Yeah.
They're Micro Homebrew has them. They're like
yeah,
$150. We
Yeah.
just get a 5-gallon barrel. Or if you want, the other way to go about it is you just throw some oak staves in.
Yeah, just like we did with the
Right, but
the beer or the wine.
I'm a nerd, and I would rather get the barrel.
That's right.
So what you do
better
is
to do in there.
you take the barrel and then you pour Jack Daniels in it, or whatever kind of whiskey you want. It doesn't really affect the flavor, but you roll it around, pour it out, just to season.
It's a
the inside.
wash. Yeah.
Flagusco, so Flagusco, this is really interesting. My friend Chris Pramus, you might know him from Green Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
He posted a thing on Twitter this weekend about making, how do you use Michelada? Michelada?
Maybe.
It's like a Bloody Mary with beer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what this is. And he posted all the ingredients. He's like, this is a Michelada. I'm like, next time we're gaming, you're making 10 of these.
Put it in here.
Yeah.
Put it in the zone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a cool beer? Rex Verity, listen.
Michelada? Michelada, that sounds...
That's crazy. It's crazy. There's two separate pronunciations.
We got Michelada.
Right over
and
one or the
Michelada.
other. Like a high Mechachani ho.
Ooh, bring back the Pee Wee Herman.
Clamato is.
I like... Really? Oh, wait, I thought Clamato was the clam
Tomato
juice.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's true, Kanilsky. It's about the origin.
The Red Bach of West March. Just awesome. I love that.
The red eye, yes. Trusha, I have heard that too. Well, yeah,
I love
clam
clams.
nectar. It's,
I love clams. Like
I love to eat clams.
Yeah.
I have not gotten to the point where I drink them, but
Yeah.
I
Oh, no, it's good.
respect
In
those
a
who
Bloody
do.
Mary, it's great.
I respect those who do.
My dad, when my dad was in town, we brought him to the Walrus and Carpenter, which is an oyster bar right down in.
Yeah, it
Hart.
is.
He was in heaven.
It's good
We got
shit.
like 30 oysters, like from all different, all around Washington.
Because when we were hanging out before my birthday the next day, he was still regaling me with these oyster tales.
Yeah, he had a fun time in Seattle.
All right, now let's take a look at these results. No, we're done. There is no toasty, nutty malt in here.
Really?
We're all
Okay,
done. So
honey all the time.
So Golden Promise and honey. You know what? I think it's mostly for them. It's mostly about the color, right?
Yeah.
And honey hits it.
Okay. So, the first hop we're going to hit is the Styrian Golding.
Yes.
This is resinous, earthy, and subtle, like essence of white pepper. Now, what we can do to make this interesting is get to some New Zealand hops.
For kicks. Just for kicks, just to tantalize.
How about this?
Oh, see, hold on. Sauce, listen. We thought that it was going to be ridiculous,
Yeah.
but we did put glitter in beer, and we decided that we never wanted to have beer without glitter ever again.
Yeah, and they don't have it at the store anymore, so I don't know if they sell it anymore. And I don't know what happened to our batches of it. So
It's so
it was fun.
dumb.
It was so
but
fun
it was
and dumb.
so fun.
And it didn't affect the flavor.
No, not in the least. But it does affect your lips when you go home.
Yeah. And you're like, were you at a strip club?
And talk to the
No.
person that you married.
Yeah.
They'd know right away if your lips sparkle.
So I like this. We're gonna go into the New Zealand.
You got a winner, the NZ.
Yeah. This is Kohatu, a moderate aroma with lime and pineapple, with traces of pine. Overuse can exhibit a dank character, but it's mostly used in Belgian ales, wheat
I'm
beers.
seeing a forest thing here.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kohatu, lime, pine, pineapple, and dank, right?
I wouldn't say dank because we're not going to overuse it.
We're not going to let it soak in there.
So it's going to be lime and pineapple and pine. Mm-hmm. I think that's really fun.
I'm loving it.
So
You got something zesty, dank character.
I actually like Orbit. This is neat.
Tell me more.
Resinous,
never even heard of it.
piney, and aromatic of tropical notes. Yeah, Iceberg, we could try Pacific Jade. That's fun. I mean, it's citrusy and black pepper. Bold herbal infusion. I think those are the ones.
Yeah, the Twitch poll is not as good. It's more of I would describe it as a pain in the ass. It's not responsive. It sucks butt.
Saprobate, no vampires sparkle.
Some do.
That shit is not allowed here.
Sounds like somebody
Listen, I'll
is
throw
not
you right off this show.
Is not a,
Throw you right off
a
this goddamn
Twilight
show.
fan.
Yeah.
And
Vampires do not sparkle. Sorry. Canon.
dude, it was so bonkers. Because we started watching those movies with the kids, like just to make fun of them.
Yeah.
And my
And
mom
you should.
got super cranked.
fuck, really?
Right? She was like, oh, you guys are watching the Twilight. And she wants to fucking like super go hard into the lore and shit. And she's like, oh, I just love Edward. I love how he protects Bella. And I'm like, Mom, that's not what's happening in these movies. Mom, these movies are really sick. He's a psychic, unkillable monster who dominates women from afar. It's like, I was like, no, Mom, you have to understand. I spend the whole movie pausing it every 10 minutes and telling my daughters, if a man ever does these things.
Yeah. Back the fuck off. Crystal, not even stripper vampires sparkle. I'm sorry. It's not a thing. This is the hill I die on. That's it. If anyone wants to know, this is the fucking hill I die on.
Well, I mean, if you gotta die on a hill, right? This is a good one. This is a sturdy platform for death.
No, it's bad. There's a lot better hills, but this is my hill.
I think it's worth it. I want someone to do it. Yeah, red flags to watch out for. Fangs, capes, look here. For me, it's more the psychic dominion.
Okay, God damn it.
Now you're
The
fucked.
sparkling vampires,
Now
Bowie.
you're fucked.
God damn it, you have really you've hit a
The Goblin King.
son of a bitch. That is,
Dance magic.
okay.
Yeah, Iceberg's putting their vote in. Incredible.
I think if they were sparkly before they were a vampire, then you're okay.
I appreciate what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, sparkling vampires to Tom Bombadil. It's like now this is your Scylla and Charybdis.
Yes, so I would take Tom Bombadil over sparkling vampires any day of the week. A sparkling Bombadil? Now there we go. Now my world
Now you're ready
is
to
fucked.
kill.
Yeah,
Now you're
I'm
ready.
just gonna burn the world down.
I just remembered that we get to play Exceed
Yeah,
for the
how
rest
great
of the
is that?
afternoon.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for Exceed.
Man, I wonder what the hook is going to be because every set has a different.
Oh yeah.
Every set has a different like sub mechanic.
Well,
I'll be curious to see what this is.
I think it's the power bars. Like on that game, everything relates to those hyper moves. So
Interesting. So you think it's more than just banking your hits?
I think it's going to be exceeding is the flip. Like, I mean,
so they'll be big, but basically the Exceed moves are going to be the shift.
Because remember when there are some characters I was like, I can exceed or I'm not going to.
Yeah, and that's true. In older sets,
Yeah.
it's definitely not
It's a
like
question.
guaranteed.
Yeah, but I feel like this is where you're going to want to exceed. But I could be
I'd rather use a big move.
Yeah.
Some of those characters is like that's fine, right? Peter Sonian, level 9 is typically quite good at revealing their thought process behind the character designs. You prefer Yomi? Listen, Piril, I have precisely no problem with Yomi.
Yomi's
We have played
fantastic.
a shitload of Yomi on Steam.
Agreed, but for me, exceed.
Fantasy Strike also. Like both.
yeah.
We have played. We have played a ton of. I
On
love
and
that dude.
offline. Oh,
no,
yeah.
I love that dude, and he just put out a new version of Puzzle Strike. We also played the old Puzzle Strike a lot
Puzzle
as well.
Strike is fantastic.
One gauge cost exceeds,
Excuse me, what?
and then actions. Oh wow. Okay, so once you flip. Okay. Well, here I guess.
We'll find out on stream.
We'll just ask
yeah.
Brad. I'm sorry. He's probably just out in the fucking living room. It's fine. All right, now let's view these results. It's who I am as a person, a result viewer. They want the citrus and herbal, and I get that, right? They want a citrus, herbal, and pepper from the Pacific Jade.
Oh, yeah.
They want to get into the witchy stuff.
What was our bitterness? 30?
30. I'm so glad that I learned to type those in and write them down immediately. This is a show where we drink from noon on. Like, I'm so glad that I realized there's got to be a technology that I can utilize to store this data.
It's called Notepad.
It's called Notepad. Now, so we got something.
Had it since the 80s.
I know. I got
like,
that Palm Pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I need.
I mean, 3,000-year-old idea.
It's classic.
You know, it's classic
Yeah.
papyrus.
Cuneiform.
Yeah.
Now, so we have hop. We have our Gren.
Yeah, we need yeast.
We need yeast.
All right.
New po.
Here.
about a new pull.
The hell is bubbles?
Wow.
Oh, it's cider.
Sorry, that was Saucefire. Has Jerry gone from brew boy to brewman? Potentially. Well, yeah, Peter Sonia, I would be surprised if he is not like, he might even be on the couch. He doesn't strike me as much of a drunkard, I guess, which is why I wouldn't pull him in here.
So, there is an imperial yeast that we can get called Gnome.
Gnome?
Gnome is a yeast for brewing Belgian-inspired beers in a hurry. The strain is extremely fecund and drops out of the beer quickly after fermentation. It produces nice phenolic characters.
Okay, so Belgian. It's called Gnome, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty sweet. Yes, John Blake, we know that she is not a gnome. You goose. All right. Yes! Yes, she's not a... She's 6'4".
Yep.
Unless she's a bunch of gnomes in a coat.
Tall for Tolkien.
So here's a cool one, the Belgian Abbey 2. This is going to be more dry in flavor, but gives you the fruitiness.
I like that. So it's a little more crisp on the palate.
This is very much, you know, her in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, exactly, because she's super dialed down. Except for a couple moments where she fucking loses it, she is dialed down. She's not doing parkour or whatever is happening in that new trailer.
All right, that got me.
So what do you got? Galadriel does not work in Santa's workshop. Agavesi, you are fucking cruising for a bruise in here, bruh. You're gonna get that mega ban.
We can do the Trappist high gravity. This is going to give us a phenolic character, rich esters, and malty flavor.
Ah, so it's going to give it's going to get our Belgian stuff going, but it's going to emphasize malt.
Mm-hmm. I haven't checked until I watch it, Moomin. I'm not going to write it off.
Which one?
Just the Amazon Lord of the Rings stuff.
Look, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'll take a look. I'll tell you that the look, like in terms of like the production.
So I will send you 3 locks of my hair.
But the production quality, like the execution, like that's the bar was set so fucking high. I didn't hate any of the stuff I saw in terms of the crafting. I just didn't. Right?
Agavesi, I don't know if I send 3 shards of my hair to Saucefire, I think UPS will be okay.
Now, Blind Cleric, I know that the Hobbit movies are not universally beloved. I think it's odd to do 3 movies on 1 book, right? I think that's odd.
Yeah, but they spliced in a lot of other lore too.
Exactly.
So you have to remember that, right?
That being said, it does have my favorite fight scene out of all 6 movies.
Like the Battle of the 5 Armies fight scene, or the fight scene when
it's the river scene.
Oh, the barrel rider scene. Yeah.
That for me
is fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was good times.
There is an amazing documentary on the making of that, and I think it's on Amazon or one of the streamings.
Makes sense.
But it shows how strained Peter Jackson was.
Oh yes, they were
writing
in real time.
In real time.
No, he looked.
So
and there's occasionally images of him.
Yeah.
Just deteriorating.
Yeah.
Like blowing across an empty Walmart parking lot, desiccated. It was.
And to be able to produce
I thought it was a garbage bag.
Yeah.
But it was Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, yeah. And to do that, I can't be mad. So.
Yeah, Del Toro is a personal favorite, for sure. Yeah, Talp, I completely agree with that. But I mean, if you see him in those videos, he looks like a ruined.
Yeah,
he looks like a destroyed man.
To do that literally
again.
Yeah, but literally in real time, like as the movie was being made, writing the script.
It sounds horrible. To make a bad movie under terrible conditions is amazing. Look, any creative act is difficult. And at that scale, like, listen, as bad as you might think it is, there's no question that it could have been worse.
Right.
No question.
Yeah, it could have been Masters of the Universe.
Which one?
That's a great movie. I love Tiberius. Doesn't match any of the lore.
with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. Skeletor looks awesome though.
Yeah, Faison, he's saying the Dolph Lundgren one for sure. All right, now it's Abbey 2. Dry, fruity.
Cool, okay.
I think that is actually a cool vibe for this.
Yeah.
All right. Agavese says, how does Josh like the Masters of the Universe movie and not Highlander?
You don't like? Oh, that's right. Josh doesn't like Highlander.
But I haven't seen it in a long time.
Which
the,
one?
The truth is, with the first one, I'm saying we should. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying that would be perfectly acceptable. You've already seen it, right?
How do we, Ghostly, can you just bring a sketch pad sometime and just keep a list of all these movies that we have to watch?
But I'm saying that I would do it again if you're ready for a rewatch. I mean, I would get slotted into that.
Absolutely.
I mean, my suspicion is that it is worse than I remember.
Yeah, the
I think-
Corgan and all that is kind of weird, but
I don't know. We'll have to see.
okay. So what movies? Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. I just want to watch Willow if it ever comes up because I love Willow.
Dude,
think-
Willow fucking bangs.
I'm just saying there
It
are movies
still
that should be
bangs.
watched.
So, Brennan and I.
Point Break.
Yeah.
Anyways, go back to Willow.
No, Brennan and I. You know about the Willow? They're doing a series
I can't be more
about
delighted.
the additional shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Elora Danan all day.
Did you see the commercial that what's his name did? He played Willow.
Willow Upgood, because that's what I call him.
Shit, what's the guy's name? Warwick Davis.
Willow Upgood.
He did a commercial with the actors and was fucking hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
No, it is fucking sick. It is still sick. Like, we watch, because if you watch one of these classic movies and you watch it like with a person that has no affection for it, isn't from that era, and they're Gen Z, and I have them at home, I can have them watch something and they'll tell me right away, because they'll leave. They will physically leave the room, right? There's no one in my family that doesn't love Willow.
That's
no
fantastic.
one. Like, the stakes are fucking real.
Right.
In that.
Right. And
It's
everybody
real.
was great. Val Kilmer as Mad Mardigan.
Dude, Val Kilmer murders it. It's like everybody
Kevin
else.
Spacey has the fucking daikini.
No, I'm saying
like, are you
British
kidding
accent.
me?
Yes, British accents everywhere. Mad Mardigan? Nope. I don't have time for
Yeah,
it.
it's like fuck it.
Nope. And who gives a shit? Who gives a fucking shit?
He was the
And
best.
he's like mean and weird. That's it's legitimately weird fantasy.
I always wanted the Kale mask.
Yes.
Right? Like that
It's
skeleton
fucking
mask.
sweet. That's why it's dope.
If I knew a prop maker, I'd have them make me that mask.
Fucking fly. No, have him make you that mask, and then we'll just do our regular beer walk around Ballard.
In
but
the mask?
With the mask. No one would hate it.
What are you gonna have on? I
It's
can't just
gonna-
walk around mask.
Yeah, you can.
This is my guy.
It's gonna be my regular face.
Okay.
But I'll be like, hey, listen, yeah, you might have seen this motherfucker. He's back. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, this is my guy. Don't fuck with
General
him.
Kale's back. Kevin Pollak. That's it. Yeah.
You have to. Voodoo Ranger
Ranger,
official.
when you come in and we go for our beer tour,
Yeah, dude,
you need a costume.
If you come in to Ballard and you are drinking and you do not have a costume, exile.
Assless chaps only.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be able to see the whole. And if we don't, right,
But you're really doing Ballard right.
we're putting you right back on that plane. You don't understand. Well, that's more of a Fremont thing, I guess. All right, now. So we did the whole thing.
we need
Now
names.
we need names. So let me open up this incredibly slow poll manager.
So here's the issue. When Voodoo Ranger comes in, they're coming in on a Monday. So it's like we're going out drinking Monday night, but then we're also going out drinking Tuesday night.
And drinking all day Tuesday.
And drinking all day Tuesday. I'm like, this is going to be a drunken stupor. Do
have
we
to-
actually get the show done?
We have to be strategic about this.
Do we?
Yes.
You just have to stay drunk so that that's your normal
Yeah.
state.
Well, no, exactly right. And that
But Josh, can you bring the
that is real.
Can you bring the Twitch camera out to record these shenanigans?
backpack. Yeah, Josh is like, no, that
No, I
doesn't
don't
sound
wanna do
fun.
that. I don't wanna do
A
that.
Bach Isles in the yeast.
Oh, Isles in the yeah. A Bach of my hair. Beer of Elendra. Yeah, there we go.
Nenya business. Oh, thrice aged is great. That's times. That's sick.
Galadriel. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like.
Yeah, I only have 5 slots, so they've got to be that good.
Oh, right.
Oh.
So you can knock ones out. That's
There might be. Arendelle, love it. Lager of the Golden Wood, Galadriel, Trees of Valinor, Ring Bearer. You dork. You only get Galadriel. You can't have both of them. Edge of a Knife, Lore of the Rings, Sparkling Bombadil, Tenuous. Don't. Shh.
Yes, you can tenuous light. You can listen. I appreciate. Ooh, the Cimmerillion. Fucking Crimson. No. I think we saved that. We saved that
for the next one.
Crimson. That's amazing, but I don't think it applies here.
Remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super. It is. This is not as good as pol.ma.pe. It's just not. Nothing is. I can't believe how great it is. We should see it. You know. No. You know what we should do, Josh? We should see if pol.ma.pe is on GitHub or something, and just have Buland put us one up on the server, so we don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. We should see if it's actually a repo.
Yeah, we'll make a Tom Bombadil ale,
Ladies light.
and we'll put it right in old number 54, just to fuck it up. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck this beer. All right, what are we doing? Delgo, listen, Times is here, but Essay's also here.
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
We should do if we do a Gandalf beer, we'll do it for
Gandalf.
Gandalf. Oh, Malorn.
Very tasty. Golden Powers. Smooth. I got one more slot. I'm saving it. Adamant. Well, yeah, that's the ring, right? Adamant is awesome. First of all, it's just an amazing.
Life of Lorien. That's fun.
It's just amazing as a word. But this is also a pretty sturdy fucking beverage.
Boys to Lothlorien.
Yeah, Clues, you're digging deep. Mm-hmm. Eric and Jerry's Galadriel beer. This is the most souse product imaginable. I only had these 5 choices. Adamant also, yeah, amazing. Mm-hmm. An inspiration. Yeah, Nenya Business is baller too. I only had the specifics. I mean, I had this this many sizes. Wow. Adamant doing okay out there. Adamant doing all right. Yep. Go up to the very top of the chat window. Because the other thing is goosed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's cool. We can still get it up on the screen.
Oh, I know. Galadriel is doing well. An Adamant Blind Cleric's option coming in at the end. Thrice aged. I thought that was a fucking shoe-in from the TNP. Nah.
Actually, all of them are pretty spot on.
The TNP getting launched into space. Rough stuff. Oh, it looks like Adamant is accelerating, perhaps achieving escape velocity. Galadriel is still very tender. Do we hyphenate Galadriel? I mean, we have to talk to the label maker. Hey, now third is still, yeah, exactly right. I guess that's true, TNP. You're on the podium. You're in the running, so to speak. Are there whispers backstage? Yeah. Are they about you? Definitely. Yeah. Are they saying hurtful things? Yeah. Yeah. So Josh, is the new mic okay?
Yes, sure.
It's kind of the same as not having a mic. No one has heard you the whole show. About how much time?
Very clear, actually.
Laurel and Doranen.
I'm glad you were able to say it.
Signing bonus, does indeed have a label from Dave, and
Absolutely.
we have actually made a new label for a future project. We are very pleased
Hopefully announce very shortly.
to announce in the coming weeks.
Yeah. And you'll be able to order it, probably.
That's the fantasy,
No,
right?
that's what we're working on.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Certain
even.
states will be able to get it.
Well, I was just going to say, because that's the issue. That was the issue with signing bonus, right? Now, it isn't like they were able to sell out, so we did right by them, but most people were not able to get their mitts on it.
Yeah.
For a significant run, that's something people could get a grip on.
This
Yum, yum,
time, this time, you may be able to get your hands if you can't come. When this comes
Be
out.
cool. You are going to get in huge trouble. What a goose. You got to turn it down.
Yeah.
You brought it up.
Oh,
Yeah, you brought it up. Shut up.
I brought it up, but my revelations were oblique. Now,
Really?
Voodoo Ranger. Okay, so you still have a signing bonus laying around.
I have one as well too.
I wonder what it's like, because that was a hazy with Belma. My suspicion is that the longer you drink that from its birth, it's getting a little raw.
Yeah, Belma kind of.
It's getting a little raw. But it's a breakdown, right? It's a
I mean,
that
that's
hop
what
is
hops
very
do.
gentle,
Yeah.
right?
I just don't want to open it because it's the last can I have.
Yeah, Adamant, BC. You gotta feel good about that. Yeah, Chanky at the bottom. Yeah, there's gonna be some material.
So there used to be a beer bar that I used to go to, and they would age IPAs for like a decade, and then try them. And they weren't horrible, but
But they weren't IPAs really.
it was weird.
They went to another realm, for lack of a better term. Listen, that's it. Adamant. Dude, that is a great name. And I can totally picture it. Like for me, the fantasy scenario is that I can completely picture the name
MANT?
Adamant. No, it's a winner for sure. Nice job, BC. Well, hey, I think that we are going to reconfigure this holy realm into a dark place of battle for the Exceed sponsored stream with our friend Brad, literal friend Brad, not euphemistically friend Brad, actual friend Brad. Right in here, we're gonna check out the new Undernight in-birth set.
I cannot wait.
What they call Season 6. But my suspicion is that we'll probably be discussing the game in general broadly as well. There is probably no card or board game I have as much experience with as Exceed. You have to understand, I don't develop expertise. Like I play games you've played enough games with me. I play games like in an intuitive way.
Yep.
I'm like having fun, woo!
Yeah.
I'm rolling dice, yay! No, in Exceed I definitely want to kill people.
Yeah, and you do on stream. But
On
then I
stream.
beat you when we're not
Every
on
other
stream.
time. Like your
And I think
numbers
you're
are
just-
good.
I'm
They're
starting
like
to think you're just like letting me win.
it's
just
9 to 10.
build
No,
my
there is no
confidence.
shark.
So when we get to the
shark.
stream, you're just like, brah.
There's no shark. No, I think that generally speaking, I probably overthink it.
Yeah.
And then and then I sort of vacillate, and then when we play it here, like I just zone out, and then
Go to a deep
the
place.
deep computer makes the calculations. In any event, we'll be back in what, about an hour and a half?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
3 o'clock. Favorite Exceed characters? Oh man, that's tough.
God, it's tough.
really
there's
like-
so many decks.
I thought Vega was really fun.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I love the Street Fighter edition. I still have it in I carry that in my car if we're ever going to play for it.
Yeah, and also I really, really liked Carl Swanji from the Automata.
Oh, yeah.
From the Automata set.
That was a fascinating character.
Well, because everybody has really cool specials, but the Automata set specifically emphasizes all of your regular ass attacks. So a lot of these have got really big, spiky damage on their crazy abilities.
Yep.
And then reasonable stuff elsewhere. And because they were trying to emphasize like the cyborg nature of Carl Swanji, all of his regular basic stuff punches like a truck. It's really, really cool. Oh, see, exactly. See, you know what I'm talking about. Like these are actually legitimately good, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, an hour and a half, 3 o'clock, sponsor stream, Exceed, our friend Brad. Come back and see us. For now, Machinery of the Universe. Huh. Rah, rah.